I just saw the video. Can you just summarize, I guess, what prompted the idea for to make this video?
Right. Well, what prompted the idea for the video was just a quick recap. In November, the theater was closed due to safety concerns by the fire department of Kahnawake, and in the video, we wanted to show some of the misconceptions that people have. Once the hall was closed, people were there were all kind of rumors that there was no fire alarm, that there was no place to move around, that the place was just cluttered with junk. So we wanted to show that no, it is indeed a working theater with storage space, with space for all the tools, for all the costumes, for all the props, and there are proper places for them, and that this is a working theater, a running theater, and it is in a state of constant change, whether it might be the night before opening night, or it might be in between shows, but there's always changes going on in the theater, and we wanted to show the theater at its best in the video, and how it is normally, and I think we accomplished that.
So far, what have you done with the video? Has it been presented to?
The video has not been presented yet. We want to present it to the community. We're hoping this is the first step right now. And just to show them that, yes, we do have a lot of things, but there is a proper place for everything. We have smoke detectors. We have, fire extinguishers all over the place. There is a fire alarm system in the building. Yes, they all need upgrades, but they do exist. We have not been operating without all of those things.
So I guess for our viewers, I know not specifically on this show, but on Straight Talk, we were talking a lot about the theater before Christmas, and I guess since then, I guess the talk about it has kind of died down. So what is the current state of the theater and, well, the Cattery Hall itself?
Right, yeah. The theater was closed, I think it was November 22nd, and it's now March 8th. So, yeah, talk has died down a bit. Unfortunately, there's been no change right now. We're at a standstill because ownership of the building is the issue right now, and whether the church actually owns the building or whether the community owns the building. In either case, the theater is kind of stuck in the middle. We're renting it from the church. I guess the question is, should we be renting it from the church, or should it just be a community facility that we use and pay the bills on? And there seems to be no decision made on that. And so we're just kind of waiting to see what happens. There's a new church committee in place as of this week, and so we hope that will help to speed things along as to an answer to these questions. Also, the Mohawk Council is working with lawyers to determine who the building actually does belong to.
So what's the theater doing to make sure that, I guess, this issue doesn't drag on forever because it's in the hands of basically the Mohawk Council and this new church committee?
Okay, well, with the result being this video, right after we were closed down, the theater community, I guess the actors, the singers, the performers got together, and we had a few meetings on what we could do. So the first thing we did was, or I should say they did, was they had a half and half raffle that was led by Curran Jacobs, and it was a very good success over the Christmas holidays. But also during the Christmas holidays, we were able to get many volunteers together and clean up the building in the sense of, try to take care of some of the issues the fire brigade said were violations. For example, some clutter in the hallways, things just not properly put away. But unfortunately, they also inspected the building on the night before opening of a show, and the night before opening of a show, whether it's in Kahnawake, whether it be on Broadway, that's how his theater is going to look the night before opening. So we were able to get all those things in place and clean up the place in the sense of put things away that weren't put away, but normally do have a place to be put. And so we had many volunteers over about 6 days during their Christmas break to really get the hall in great shape. And this video just displays how it is in its ideal state, which is its normal state.
So, we're talking a lot about, the after effect of, the theater closing down and stuff like that. But I don't think, like, as in general, there are a lot of people know, unless you're familiar with it, like I am, or, Jessica are more familiar with the programming that the theater has. So, I mean, if you could just kind of give us an idea and, give the community an idea of what exactly it is that, the theater does, because it's important.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you could just, like, you know, talk about the programming or something, because it's one thing to see the issue from that side, you know,
Right.
that it's devastating that it closed down, but, you know, if we could understand a little bit how its importance, that's my question.
Well, I think its greatest importance is it serves the whole range of ages in the community. There's children in there starting from the age of 6 or 7, and there's people in the musical entertainers, for example, who are in their 70s and 80s. So it serves a wide range of people who enjoy the arts, who love the arts, and who actually thrive doing the arts. It's not just in many cases, yes, it is a hobby, but in other cases it is very much, even you can call it a therapy, singing as a therapy, acting as a therapy. It helps people to be part of something. It helps people to socialize. It helps people to learn how to work together, just to be together, and it gives them that great opportunity to work with you know, all ages of the community and experience that. I mean, people can technically go through this program starting when they're 7 and continue in it through their whole life. And there's no like, well, you're 18 now, you have to say goodbye. There's nothing like that. It's not like, you know, you're on a sports team and, you know, the age limit is over, so you have to move on to another team. But there's not necessarily, you can move on indefinitely. Whereas here, I think you can move on indefinitely, and it just serves the entire community, not just a certain age group, and that's its greatest strength.
Oh, I guess kind of relating to Curran's question, what do you think is the importance of theater and like the arts in general in Kahnawake?
The arts are one of the, I think, most neglected learning tools we have. You know, science is pushed in schools, of course, and that's a great thing to have. Athletics is pushed in schools, which is great to be in great, you know, form, but also learning through the arts, learning through music, learning through singing, learning through acting is very, very important to the development of the person. It helps you to learn how to think. It helps you to learn how to, you know, to use your mind. It helps you to learn how to use your imagination, your creativity. It just helps your whole person to develop to its fullest potential. You may not, you know, say, oh, I'm going to become a professional actor or singer. That's irrelevant. It's just a matter of how this helps you develop as a person, as a whole person. We've tackled many of the issues put forth by the fire brigade. The last one is to do a physical renovation on the inside of the building. So we're hoping as soon as that's accomplished, we can reopen. But again, that's the issue of who owns the building. We don't want to pour, you know, $40,000 into a building that in a year we may not be able to have anymore. So we want to make sure we have a secure place in there before we can put that kind of money into it.
And is there anything going on with Hay Fever, as that was the show that...
Right, Hay Fever was supposed to open, and that was it. I mean, we're still hoping to present Hay Fever. However, it's already approaching our summer season, so we may have to put that on the back burner for now and present it in the fall if we can.
All right, well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll be back after a quick commercial break.